วัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Thailand Today here on NBT World. The government has kicked off a nationwide campaign against rabies, saying it aims to make Thailand free of the deadly viral disease by 2020. During the campaign, which runs until June 30th, dog and cat owners are being encouraged to get their pets vaccinated against rabies free of charge at government agencies' offices near their homes offering the service. Agriculture Minister was speaking at an event in Pathum Thani, in which mobile rabies control and prevention units were sent to communities in the province to raise awareness about rabies prevention. The Department of Livestock and Thai rabies teams also will encourage pet owners to register their animals under the department's thairabies.net system and provide information about laws related to rabies control, combating other communicable animal diseases as well as animal cruelty and welfare. Between March and April last year, 1,121 domestic and stray animals were confirmed as having rabies. Fluid samples were taken from animals suspected of having contracted rabies. Altogether, 12 people were also affirmed to have rabies during that same period. State agencies are working together to ensure the country has a sufficient supply of rabies vaccines, as the government aims to eradicate rabies in this country by the end of next year, according to Mr. Krishna. These agencies include Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Livestock, and the Department of Local Administration. They are also working with private firms to increase the import of rabies vaccines. The importers are capable of supplying up to 14.9 million doses, while the country is estimated to require about 14.3 million doses to combat the disease. Mahidol University's veterinary faculty has been serving as an external auditor, inspecting the quality of rabies vaccine imported for use in Thailand. Thai health authorities have been putting in place plans to cope with outbreaks of diseases that can affect humans, animals, and wildlife in Thailand. The Deputy Director General of the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant, DNP, has confirmed that Thailand is already monitoring the risk of rabies and the current outbreak of African swine fever in some areas. Executives and officials from related agencies such as the Department of Livestock Development, the Department of Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Local Administration, and the Zoological Park Organization of Thailand have attended a meeting to discuss broad cooperation on the health of people, animals, and wildlife to develop an epidemic surveillance system and be ready to cope with any outbreak. DNP Deputy Director General Jongklai Vorapongsathorn said the meeting was aimed at establishing collaboration to prevent and monitor outbreaks. The relevant agencies have been following up on the rabies situation, even though there are no current cases. He has ordered the relevant authorities to monitor and report on the situation on a periodic basis. This year, the government is to distribute vaccines to the public. Thai health authorities are now on alert to spread of African swine fever, which has recently occurred in countries such as Laos, Vietnam, and China. He has also instructed the authorities to patrol national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, especially in border areas, where it is necessary to randomly check wild boars and pigs as another way to prevent outbreaks of disease. Although swine fever is not contagious between animals and humans, it is considered a disease that can be badly affect the economy and the pig farming industry. People are strongly advised to avoid eating raw pork for their own safety. The Department of Disease Control (DDC) and its partners have launched a campaign encouraging pet owners to vaccinate their animal companions, are making World Rabies Days on September 20th. According to the department, the number of rabies patients in Thailand has significantly declined, while clarifying that there was only an average number of deaths from 2013 to 2017 at 5. It noted that all of these decrees did not seek medical attention or vaccination. The Public Health Ministry launched many projects to eliminate the disease, such as a mobile vaccination campaign and several public relations initiatives to raise public awareness. This year, the number of deaths from rabies has been reduced to 2 so far. DDC Director General Dr. Suwanchai Ratanaporn remind pet owners of their responsibilities to give their animal companion necessary vaccinations and complete their vet appointments in order to avoid rabies and other diseases. He also encouraged members of the public to inform concerned officials of a suspected rabies outbreak. He also took the opportunity to invite residents to attend the World Rabies Day event, which will be held at the Central Plaza, Jangwatana, on September 20th, where free rabies vaccination will be offered along with music performance, lucky draw, and seminars. Rabies has spread rapidly in many provinces of Thailand since last year, and 13 provinces have been declared rabies red zones after the deadly disease killed 3 people and infected 247 animals in 2 months. So next break we will tell you about a campaign aiming to make Thailand free of rabies by 2020 to mark World Rabies Day 2019. Coming back after a short break.
Open your eyes to shades like no other.
The shades that open my heart to exotic traditions,
to new interpretations.
I see new horizons are opening up, new feelings.
Every corner makes your imagination wander. You're making contact with your new self.
I feel great in every moment when I see the world around me. It makes me feel so alive. I feel alive, so alive.
What else can you do but to venture further? Open to the new shades. Amazing Thailand. In 2019, Thailand is ready for ASEAN chairmanship, working together and building solidarity to increase competitiveness and innovation with the people at the center. All sectors are ready to promote unity of the ASEAN community. NBT World is excited to be a full supporter of the Thai ASEAN chairmanship. Keep up to date on ASEAN 2019 movement with NBT World.
Welcome back to Thailand Today here on NBT World. Today we have Dr. Ratanaporn Tangwangvivat. She's a Veterinary Officer, Communicable Disease Division, Department of Disease Control under the Ministry of Public Health. She will tell us about the campaign aiming to mark Thailand free of rabies by 2020 and to mark World Rabies Day 2019. Sawadee ka. Welcome back to Thailand Today program. Well, we've been talking before getting into our program that, rabies is something that we have been to the world, to the moon. Why can't we find a vaccine for this rabies, doctor?
Actually, we have vaccine for the rabies in the human and animals, but something we lack is about the incorrect understanding. The people not understand clearly that they need to get vaccine after they got bitten by the animal. Sometimes they just took animal to the animal hospital, but the people not go to the hospital.
After bitten.
Yeah.
So for how long? Before we get into other thing, we need to know a little bit on this. For how long? Okay, you are bitten this minute, and then how long the period to go to the hospital is still on time?
Actually, we have the 3 protocol. The first one, you need to wash the wound immediately.
Wash immediately first.
With water and soap.
Ordinary soap.
Yeah, and after that, apply the antiseptic such as tincture iodine or betadine.
Okay.
And the third one, you need to go to see doctor immediately.
Immediately. Oh, okay. So at least something. But that's like how many percent guaranteed?
100% if you
It's
get
100%.
if you get the vaccine correctly.
I mean, after all this period, because it takes like to go to a hospital, all these procedure, it takes about an hour. It's okay. Sue is not running up to
Actually, it depends on the
position.
the first one about the position, and the second one is depend on the host immunity. If the host ever had the vaccine before, they already have the antibody. So its antibody will come easily and will come faster than the person who never get any vaccine before. And the third one is about the size of the wound. If there are some people get bitten on the face, it's very easy that the virus can infect to the brain. Because this virus will infect around a nerve and then go to the brain.
Well, so it is another question before we get into that. I'm really interested in it because, it is only countries with what do you call warm countries or some kind of countries in ASEAN. And how about foreign country like European? All that we hardly hear about this.
Yeah, actually, it's very important because in Thailand, you see, we have the many stray dogs. Sometimes the people like to feed the animal on the street, or maybe some dog in front of the shop or 7-Eleven. The people like to feed the dog, and they not do the sterilization. We cannot control the dog population in other countries like Europe or USA. They control the population very well. We never seen the stray dog in that countries before, and the owner have the responsibility for their dogs. For not only dog, I mean like cats as well. They have the responsibility to take the animal to the animal hospital or veterinary clinic to receive the vaccination.
So this advice from a doctor who really taking care of veterinarian, who taking care of this. So, what is the current rabies situation in Thailand?
The situations of the rabies this year is much better than last year. In 2018, the data from the Epidemiology Division revealed that there were 18 human cases passed away from the rabies infection. But this year until now, just only 2 cases in human.
Oh, thank God.
Compared with the perceived case in the animal, in 2018 is around 15%, and this year just only 5%.
Why? Why so?
Because the last year we have the big outbreak of the rabies, right? So we have the campaign, the national campaign, and every organization we work very very hard to control the rabies, especially for the Department of Livestock Development and Department of Disease Control and the other partners.
So it's something to be controlled, something to be not out of our reach, right?
We can control, but sometimes it's very difficult, very challenging. Very challenging, especially around the border area. In Thailand, we need for the human, we need a passport to cross the border, right? But for the animal, we don't need a passport. So the animal from the other country or around the border area, they have a lot of the free range. So this kind of the animal, they can come across the border, and we don't know about the vaccine history before.
So when you mentioned about the outbreak of last year, so what were the factors of this major one, the major rabies?
Actually, the factors, we have the 2 main factors. The first one is about the vaccination. Some people complain that the vaccine in animal in Thailand is not good enough, but actually the vaccine in Thailand is good enough to protect the rabies in the animals and human. And the understanding about the vaccine. some people not understand that they need to receive the vaccine. There are two types of the vaccine: pre-exposure and post-exposure prophylaxis. Some people just think like sometimes they got just only scratch from the cat or dog. They don't need to receive the vaccine. Just stay home, maybe they just wash the wound. That's all. Don't need to go to see doctor.
Not enough.
Not enough at all. Or maybe some children that they like to play with the puppy. So cute, puppy so cute. Puppy like to lick their hands. But sometimes the puppy also bite the kids, but the kid not tell the parent.
Knowledge.
And another thing is about the incorrect understanding. Some area the people still believe that just use the shoe, tap the wound, it can kill the virus.
The best sometimes.
Yeah. So we need to change the mindset of the people. Let them raise the awareness about the rabies.
That may be the thought of tetanus. That's why they used slitches to treat it on that. Oh, well. So, but how about, okay, you mentioned the cat. So between dogs, cat, and any other, what do you call? Mammals, animals. So which is the most dangerous? Like to be dangerous, but most occur of this kind of thing.
Okay. Actually, all of the animals are able to infect the rabies, but most of the case in human is caused by the dog. And sometimes
because of huge number or what?
Because some dog is really familiar to the people, and people like to just touch or maybe play with dog. But that dog we don't know the vaccine history. Is maybe by the dog or some infected dog by our dog, and then our dog get infections, and after that we just touch our dog.
Actually, it's why particular virus, the rabies, it's originated of what?
It's
in the animal food or climate or what?
No, I think the virus already existing in this world, and we cannot we cannot find the origins of the virus. But all of the human cases caused from the animal. We need to protect the animals, and in the same time, it will protect the human as well.
It's difficult when one's being told that if you are being bitten by dogs and you have to cut the head and all that, difficult things to do. Nobody will do that, so it doesn't matter, right? You don't have to bring it, but they will have to be treated anyway.
If we feel suspicious or wondering some dog that might infect the rabies, we need to send the dog or sample to the Department of the Livestock Development, or maybe they have some office around in that area. We need to send sample to diagnose the virus. Maybe it's not die. Maybe that animal is not die because of the rabies, or maybe something else. Yeah, but we not recommend to the people. Because sometimes the people cut the head, they maybe get some spares of the virus. The disease. So it's very difficult. We need to normally the veterinarian need to do that, or maybe they send to the officers. The officer will do that for you. But for some kind of the animal, they're very big, such as like cow. Cow also able to infect the rabies.
Really? But very rare.
Yeah, very rare. It's too big to move all the whole body,
exactly.
Right? But we need to inform the local veterinary officer. They will manage it.
Doctor, once someone's being beaten, well, their houses is. How about the treatment? What's called the clinic? A normal clinic can also help, or what? A particular person have to go direct to where? Because they need urgency in that.
Yes. I think for Bangkok is very easy. I think almost every hospital we have the vaccine for the rabies. But we not recommend to go to the small clinic because sometimes they not spare the vaccine. If we need to, I think for the people who get bitten, need to go to the, maybe it's like provincial hospital. It must be better.
How about this kind of injection? Is it too costly for for Thailand to have, or Thailand can produce by ourselves, or just import?
Right now we cannot produce by ourselves.
Import it.
We import it. But the vaccine is not very costly, especially for the people who get the pre-exposure prophylaxis before. The vaccines after the vaccine after we got bitten, right? We call the post exposure prophylaxis is maybe for the people who get the vaccine before, we will just booster. But for the people who never received vaccine before, we need to start the protocol. Have many days that the patients need to come and follow the vaccine guideline.
Can we have it just like when we born, what do you call that, the newborn with that tetanus, with the, that kind of. Why can't we inject one for all? I mean, in the beginning, can we do that?
No, because we just only one time maybe is not enough for the human. Actually, antibody can stay for I think for many years, more than 10 years. But it depends. Somebody maybe just they attach the rays, the radiation. Sometimes they destroy the immunity.
Really?
Or sometimes they got the vaccination for a long time, so maybe the antibody already dropped or memory cell already disappear. They need the booster. But right now we have the pre-exposure prophylaxis just only for some specific group, some risk groups such as like veterinarian or the person who were in the laboratory need to diagnose the rabies. We suggest them to receive the pre-exposure prophylaxis.
So what are the Department of Disease Control's measures to control and prevent rabies?
The major activities of the Department of Disease Control, we need to do the surveillance, prevention and control. But actually, we have the many protocols about the rabies. We have the regional office. We launched the guideline for them to do after we found the index case in that country. We almost I think more than 90% of the cases we need to follow that. I think we need to follow 100%, but we're able to follow more than 90%. We need to go back to that area and have to do the investigation. In the team of investigation, we also combine with the local veterinarian because we need to investigate about how they get bitten by that dog, and how can we find the dog, how can we find the animal. If animal attach other people, we need to do that. We not only just focus only one person that come to hospital. We need to do team and go to do surveillance. If we found just only one index case in the dog, we need to do the ring vaccination in that area. I think, but it's responsibility to the Department of the Livestock Development and the Department of the Local Administration to do the ring vaccination for the 5 kilometers around the index case.
So what are precautions to reduce and chance of contracting rabies?
In Department of Disease Control, we announced the 5 don't. The first one, 5 don't. The first one is about don't provoke the dog.
Sometimes but the rabies dogs is not need. They just go direct, stiff body and bite you. They don't even provoke them.
Yeah, but some kids they like to provoke the animal, or maybe some drunk people they like to provoke the animal, right? And the second one, do not step on the dog. Sometimes they just pray, or maybe they just do accidentally. But step on the dog maybe angry and then just bite that people. The first one is about do not separate the fighting dog.
Let them fight.
Let them fight. Or maybe just use the water.
Hot water sometimes.
No, hot maybe is too harm. And the fourth one is about don't pick up the food plate. Sometimes we just, sometimes we have very good heart, just maybe want to fill up the food, but the dog don't understand. They don't understand.
They thought you're taking away.
Yeah. And the last one is about do not bother or come close to the unfamiliar or wandering dog. Like we found the puppy so cute. We want to play, just try to touch the head, or maybe like the puppy lick your hand. We have chance to infect the rabies because the virus is contained in the saliva.
But the appearance of the rabies, there's a particular sign of infected rabies. I mean, infected dogs, right? With the rabies. It doesn't cute. It's a little more puffy and all that, yeah?
Sometimes
losing hair or something?
No. Sometimes they just like stay calm, not pay. They have like two types. Some type is very aggressive, like to bite other people. Some type they just like stay still, not pay with anyone. It's very hard to tell. It's very very hard to tell.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We're coming back with other symptoms. So we are coming back to the end of the first part of our interview. So next we'll be focusing on the World Rabies Days 2019. Please stay tuned.
NBT World, an English language television channel in Thailand. Authoritative sources for all government information.
High standard content that's reliable and accurate across every platform. Our mission is to reflect the vision of Thailand.
Keep up to date through our application or website by searching for NBT World. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back once again to our program. We are still with Dr. Ratanaporn Tangwangvivat. She will highlight the World Rabies Day 2019 event and the government's campaign against rabies this year. Before we get into that, how about what are the department disease controls measure? What are the initial symptoms of rabies?
The initial symptom of the rabies can appear maybe few days or more than a year after the bites happen. The first symptom is just like itching or
That particular area?
The wound, the wound, and maybe have the full-like symptoms such as like fever, headache. That one's just the normal, but it's very difficult to tell. But when the virus develop to the virus develop the neurological side, it's like aggressive, hallucination. Sometimes have the muscle spasm. They very difficult muscle spasm around their throat. It's very difficult to swallow. That's why
Not only water.
cannot
only water, but food also.
Yeah, food also.
It's difficult in swallow.
And that's why we might see the the human have a lot of the saliva. Sometimes we call the foaming at the mouth effect. And sometimes the fear of the bright light.
So how long it takes to after diagnosis of this done? That you are how long?
After show the symptom, is the father is 100%,
That
and it's not
nothing
long.
can be cured.
No, not.
When this happens, it's not nothing can be cured.
Most of the case sometimes just like they were beaten many months. Many months ago, and just develop the neurological
Gradually.
side. Yeah, and go to hospital, but it's too late already.
Now talk about injection. Years back, they used to inject by the what do you call in the middle of the stomach, and so now it's just do that because so many so many shots they have taken.
No, right now
No?
we don't need that
see.
anymore. We have the just intradermal or intramuscular,
Okay.
but we do also do the many day as well. But the people do not remember about we need to do this day, but just follow the doctor protocol. The important thing they need to go to see doctor. So most of the case they did not go to see doctor, did not receive the rabies
They
vaccination.
did not realize.
Yeah, the human cases in this year, 2 cases, they got the rabies from the stray dog, and they did not receive the vaccine. That's why.
Okay, so any effective treatment to minimize the number of viral particles after exposure to rabies?
So I think I mentioned before is about the porphyroviruses vaccine. Yeah, and also we have the immunoglobulin that for the
the two types
severe.
only,
That was for the severe case. We just like to highlight the 3 things that I mentioned. The first one is about wash the wound with soap and waters, apply antiseptic, and go to see doctor immediately. Yeah, just only 3 easy steps that the people need to remember and do.
At least the percentage is quite high according to veterinarian who say this. We have to count her words.
But some case they just go to see doctor, receive just only one time, and they think like, oh, that's enough for for treat.
But the doctor will have to say.
Yeah, the doctor already say, but the
But
people
still
ignorance.
ignorance, So what are objectives and theme of the World Rabies 2019?
For the World Rabies Day 2019,
First, where is going to be held?
the Central Plaza Jangwatana, fifth floor.
Oh, okay. So
On this Saturday.
this Saturday, for how
Yeah.
long? For how many days?
Just only one day on 28 September.
Only one day.
Only one day.
Please rush. And then what are you going to see there? Well, what is objective? Objective is what? To show.
The objective of the event, we try to raise awareness,
Okay.
and we will, announce about the how to protect themselves from the rabies, how to do that, how to, control and go to see doctor. We need to highlight what they need to do. We have the many partners come to present about what they do. Almost like 22 partners come together. The main theme of this World Rabies Day is about the rabies vaccinate to eliminate, because the important factor about the human cases is come from the vaccination, and we try to eliminate the rabies. We need to do vaccinations at least more than 80% of the herd immunity. We need to do more than 80%. But for the human, we want to make sure that they receive the vaccine 100%. That's why they put this theme, the vaccinate to eliminate.
To eliminate. But usually, but I think I read somewhere that they said surely by next year, or 2000 something 20.
Yeah, 2020, we want to eliminate the rabies by 2020.
Possible?
Yeah, but this year, that's why we need to put this theme, because we cannot just eliminate and we just do thing in 1 year and eliminate it. We have been working about this campaign for many years already, and we right now I think is like the critical step that we need to vaccinate as much as possible for the eliminating next year.
Yeah. Well, eliminating the originated personnel, like or dogs or cats or whatever. So what? In using the word eliminating, how do you do it?
Actually, we aim to eliminate in the human first. This year, just only 2 cases until now, and we hopefully next year we have the 0 case. That's why we need to vaccinate in both of the human and animal. If I mentioned before about the number in the positive case in human and animal is correlately. If we able to control the rabies or eliminate the rabies in animal, so we will not have the rabies case in human.
By what? By giving them medication or
No,
injection?
vaccine.
Vaccine to them.
Yeah.
Sorry, vaccine to them.
Yeah.
To each. So the dog have the what you call precaution injection.
The dog we do the vaccine.
The vaccine,
Yeah, the vaccine.
advance.
Yeah, in advance.
Do I have that?
Yeah, we have that.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
So all dogs can have it advance.
Yeah.
Not like human. Human cannot, because you said that we.
We are in human. We also have the
Only the personnel.
yeah, only the personal that we recommend for the personal. But for the dog, we started at 2 to 4 months for the first injection.
Born during what?
Or 2 months, they
2
go to
months.
see doctors and
Every 2
receive.
months?
No. Just the first time when the dog 2 to 4 months, the first time, and after that 1 month later, receive another injections, and after that every year, just 1 time every year after that.
Why not? Because there is something that can be done. I thought, nothing can be done, and we have to leave it in vain. But actually, there is a way. There's a way. There's a will. That's a will. That's a way, actually.
And the rabies vaccine in animal is pretty cheap. Sometimes the local officers, they just do it for free. Very cheap.
Why not? Yeah, well, let's do it. So, what is the campaign? How much? Campaign is so important because let them see the actual, what's happening.
The campaign actually we have the national campaigns about the rabies, following the wish of the Royal Highness. Her Royal Highness Princess Ratanaporn. we have the 8 strategies, and we cooperate with the 6 main organizations. But actually, we work with the many organizations. 6 main organizations, including the first one, Department of Livestock Development.
Livestock development
Is about the animal side.
I see, of course.
And the Department of Disease Control about the human side.
Human side.
And Department of Local Administration. It's very important, especially in outside of Bangkok. It's very important. เกษตรศาสตร์ University, Public Relation Department, because we need to raise awareness and make the people understand clearly about the rabies. And for the evaluations, they work with the Prime Minister Office.
This is the main core of the campaigning.
Yeah.
The people. The more I think the more we see, the better we become, because we see, and because people will not understand how difficult, because when they get choked or such a bad scene.
Yeah, as I say, it's very difficult if they already developed the symptom. But I think Thailand is very lucky. We have this kind of campaign. We have a lot of the people who effort to eliminate the rabies together. But other country, they don't have like it.
Really?
Because Thailand is very
How do they
lucky.
manage that?
Actually, we separate to a strategy, right? Some strategies about the surveillance or prevention control in the human. So in the human, Department of Disease Control will take charge of that. But for the animal, Department of Livestock Development will take charge. But for the data management, เกษตรศาสตร์ University, or about
เกษตรศาสตร์ doing what? Producing?
เกษตรศาสตร์ University.
Yeah, producing what?
They do the data management.
Data management.
But they cooperate with the other sector as well.
So at least we feel better that we to try to eliminate, even if into zero. It's a great news.
Yeah, but the WHO World Health Organization, they also have this kind of campaign, but they says they will eliminate the rabies worldwide by 2030. But Thailand, we want to do by next year.
Better, the quicker the better.
Yeah, quicker is better. Yeah.
So, World Rabies Day 2019 event, especially significant activities of the exhibition for the visitors.
We have the many activities. As I mentioned, we have 22 partners come and show at the booth, right? And we also have, in the morning, we starting from the 10:30. We have the painting competition
Painting.
for the
Yes.
children under 10 years old. We have an
How
award.
do they feel about when they hear about rabies?
Yeah, we provide the pictures of just small dog and cat, and they can paint everything they want. And we have some award for them, and also certificate from the Director General of the Department of Disease Control. And we have the stage to talk about the how to prepare food for the animal which get sick, kidney problem or some problem. We also provide we invited some speaker from the university to teach. And also some animal, they have some problem, they don't want to eat, or they do the bad behavior. How can we change them? We also have the state to talk about that.
Have anybody who already escaped from the death from that from used to get rabies and survival?
We have one case report in other country, but not in Thailand. After they develop the symptom, they receive some protocol, but just only one person survived it. But after that, many doctors follow that protocol, but all of the patients they not survive. That's why we still doubt, but we just encourage the people to receive the vaccine correctly. Is very important.
Only in Thailand, because they know such people not survivable, but they experience. I did experience of the beaten and all that. Come and talk to those people who really.
No, we don't have any survival case in Thailand before. It's pretty hard. This was just only one case, and as I say, other people, other doctors.
So the
follow.
person must be very strong, right? The immunity.
Maybe yeah.
At least invite him. So that he should come back and tell us, for those who really care about taking care of the animals. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you, when we, there are some like Sunday markets when they have availability of selling for people to purchase the animal. Do you go for that to direct to them and say that they be injected or something?
Normally we not recommend to buy the dog or get the dog from the one who sell in the market or Sunday market. Sometimes they bought it just only 1 week and the dog just developed the symptom, but not only from the rabies infection, but we also have the other kind of the disease that we need to concern about that. We recommend to buy from the specific farm that have the quarantine and very good hygiene.
Proper certification for
Okay.
injection because they have the history.
Yeah.
The history of injection and all that.
And another thing for the event World Rabies Days on this Sunday, we also have the mini concert from the Ti Chainalong in the evening.
Okay. So what else? They have the concert, they have dog painting. What else? Any highlight?
We also provide the free influenza vaccine for the people and the rabies vaccine for the animal.
Yeah, should not miss it at all.
Yeah. And for the owner who stay in Bangkok, we provided a free microchip in the animal.
Okay, so do not miss the opportunity. We ended up our program with thanks to Dr. Ratanaporn Tangwangvivat for being here. Thank you so much for being here. ขอบคุณค่ะ. We're looking forward to see you again. So we end up our program and with thanks and looking forward to see you again and thanks for watching Thailand Today. สวัสดีค่ะ